but it does become actually really important going forward, is you want to make the articles flexible. So that's the charter again. So these are the governing provisions of the company.
Yeah.
And this is actually relevant even on the public side, but a little bit less so because the public is it's going to be governed also by securities laws in the US, if you're going to be a US listed company or that particular jurisdiction. And so you want to look at how often do you have to set a meeting? Do you want to set meetings? How can shareholders bring forth? Another provision is how can shareholders bring forth, if they want to, how do they bring forth, I would say, certain proposals to get voted on? There's also other governing. Do you want your board set up as being flexible in terms of what are the decision-making powers of the board? Is it going to be X number of directors? Is it going to be flexible in terms of the number of directors? And then you can go into much more complex in terms of debentures, or you're going to be issuing debt and so forth. And so you can go into those kind of like more, I would say, like complex issues. But in general, you want to look at Powermount is going to be like the governance of it. And so that would be number one. And then also you want to see is that for example, liquidation, that's another winding up of the company. That's really important. And so once you've got the charter, like you've got, I would say, like you want to give your list of, I would say, certain provisions, certain things that you want to make sure that are included in those articles, or at least ask the questions. It's not impossible to amend and restate, but it can also be a little bit burdensome. So it's nice to have it at the beginning. And then I would look to see is how fast you can incorporate the entity. That's usually an important aspect, because in a lot of these deals, you need to incorporate them quickly. And so you want to make sure, do you have the right director? Because you always have to have an initial director for incorporation. And is that the right person? Because that also is like another important facet. And does that person know what their responsibility is going forward? And so sometimes you want to be able to explain to them fiduciary duties sitting on a board, or you want to be able to explain to them how they make decisions,